back to another episode of 1, 2, 3 Podcast with your two favorite hosts that are still waiting on Vince McMahon to give that $12,000 a month offer. I'll even take 10 to be an announcer on NXT. You left your phone on.
Oh. Sorry. I was waiting for that call from Vince. I don't know who I was calling there.
You were calling somebody?
Apparently.
So, we are here, Brant and I. How are you, Brant? I know that we've only watched Raw so far, and we're actually recording this early, but you guys are seeing this on Friday. But how are you first, Brant? There's a reason for that. There's a reason for why I'm not saying anything yet.
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing good. It's been a nice week, but now let's get down to business. Raw frickin' sucked this week. And I don't mean it...
But...
I
got Fritos and Cheetos.
You've got the Fritos and Cheetos. I've got the vanilla cherry Pepsi, and I'm not moving my cup of noodles yet because it's still brewing, but I've got my cup of noodles set up to go for this show. Now, Raw sucked this week. I'm sorry. But there's so many things that was wrong with the show. I'm watching it, and Alan watches it with me sometimes, so we message back and forth on Facebook. One day we got to have him on here as a guest or something. That show went from a 2-star show, because it was under average, to 1 to 0, back to 1 again, to 0, and then because of the whole Daniel Bryan thing, it went back to a 1 because it was a wonderful ending, and the last match of the night. Brought it back to 1. It was going to be a 0 until the last match.
Okay, so how about we talk about the positive stuff first? No?
Okay.
Okay. Well,
no, I'm trying to think of the positives.
Daniel Bryan.
Positives. Yes.
It was a positive and a negative, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
Sad to see his career end so young. He's only 34 years old. How many concussions was it? 10 concussions?
10 plus.
10 plus concussions and some other stuff, and I had it pulled up and I lost it.
It was 10 plus he had a couple of MRIs done on his mouth and his head, and he hit the red zone a lot with his head.
Yeah.
I wanted to believe it was fake. I fought with Brant. I think I fought with you all the way up until the beginning of Raw. I was like, I think this is fake. I think, they're setting up for maybe something. Everywhere
I went on the internet, it was like 50-50 like that. A lot of people were saying, it's a work, and other people were saying, it's on ESPN, it's not a work. It's on his Twitter, it's not a work. And, they were referencing Mark Henry when he retired, saying it's the same kind of situation. But I felt, it's been so long. And
he hadn't come back in a while.
Yeah, so I kind of felt like this is it. And, of course, we find out that, it is definitely legit. He is officially retired.
I cried. I watched a crowd crying, and I started crying because I've not had the pleasure of watching Daniel Bryan as much as everybody else. I remember little stints of him and Kane because Michael would be laughing his ass off, and I'd go out and look and say,
I'm the tag team champion.
Exactly. That quote ran through this house for a while. Yeah. And his epic win at WrestleMania, which then the next night he had to basically give away the belt because he had gotten so hurt. He had to take time off, and that was the last time he wrestled, was WrestleMania. So yeah, it was very upsetting.
Yeah.
And TakeOver when he had all those fans come in the ring for the match.
Yeah, that was awesome. And there was one point where he was they had all the champion contenders in the ring, and Triple H was trying to talk, and they were chanting Daniel Bryan so loud that he had to stop talking. And Daniel Bryan's just standing in the corner just grinning from ear to ear because, that's got to be an amazing feeling to have that much support from people. And, I don't care if you like him or you don't. He was a phenomenal wrestler, and he was an underdog, and he defied all the odds, and he got to that top spot. And, he got to the top spot in a lot of fans' hearts. So it was a very positive ending in the fact that, it was a nice send-off for him. And after Raw went off the air, which we'll get into something that happened there, everybody was lined up, on the stage and everything, and kind of, telling them goodbye and everything. Very negative in the fact that we lose Daniel Bryan in the ring. So
It was Edge.
yeah,
It was like an Edge saying goodbye kind of moment.
yeah. Only he, I feel like because
Edge can't wrestle. Bryan
yeah,
can if he wants to again.
but I feel like it was even a little bit bigger than that because of all this fan support that Daniel Bryan has. It was almost Shawn Michaels level when Shawn Michaels damaged his back and couldn't wrestle for 5 years, and we
Yeah.
thought he was done. It was that same kind of level of thing. So hats off to you, Daniel Bryan. We miss you and wish you well.
I wish him well on all his his new journey, his new adventures that he's going to be going on, which hopefully somehow will be taken along somehow with him, whether it be through a show or something. I don't know, but hopefully there'll be some way for us to still see where he's going with life
Yeah,
from here.
absolutely. And another good thing about the, that episode of Raw was the Dudley's match.
That was a good tables match, and because it was non-title, I knew New Day was not going to win.
I did have one problem with the match, and we'll get to that. But if you did not watch it, spoiler alerts. Obviously we're going to spoil everything by
It's
this.
a week. It's a
Yeah,
week already. You should
right.
know.
Exactly. So, it was supposed to be New Day versus the Usos, and then it became New Day versus the Usos and the Dudleys because it's a table match, and they kind of petitioned to get involved in the match. And after the match, after they win, they turn on the Usos and put both the Usos through a table.
I think Jimmy or one of them got hurt though, like for real, his knee. I think he really got hurt.
Yeah, and that's a shame because Jay just came back from injury, so I'm hoping it wasn't him.
Yeah, one of them couldn't get up. He couldn't stand up. I think they actually had to switch it. Instead of 2 3Ds. They did the other thing with
Powerbomb, yeah.
Bubba. Yeah.
But either way, I love the fact that they turned because the Dudleys were doing nothing; they were just kind of fading into the background. And with them turning like that, at least it gives you hope that they might get that one last run or whatever. We'll see. But the problem I have with it, and I don't know if you noticed this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you had the same problem. We'll see. When they were beating up the Usos,
Uh-huh.
Bubba yelled the reason why they were turning, basically. Did you hear this? He was putting them in the corner, and he was like, "You don't have a tables match without the Dudleys."
Yeah. I
That's
was
the
like,
reason?
what the hell? And
That's
then
your reason?
but they fixed it in the end. If you heard what he said, he's like, "We're the baddest tag team in the
Yeah.
WWE." So I guess
You know
that
who
fixed
we
it.
are?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but when I heard that too, and that was dumb. And I thought Mark Henry being involved in the match.
Oh,
I
yeah,
said
I forgot.
involving him, he's gonna walk out. I said he was gonna walk out. I mean, that was dumb.
Yeah, I forgot to even mention that. That's how insignificant it was to me. I completely forgot about it.
But now imagine if that was insignificant, and we're talking about this being the best match of the night.
Here comes the disclaimer, folks, because this match and only one other match were the only matches I got to see. And
Grant, you go first with Hulu.
yeah,
Wait, you know what? Before we go into Hulu, do we
okay.
want to touch on news minus that one thing?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that because we completely forgot about that. Okay, so we talked about Brian.
Daniel Bryan leaving.
Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan. What is this? We talked about all right. The Dudleys. They just kind of basically tweeted out, "Thou shalt not mess with the Dudleys," and Dudleys are back. Oh, my brother, testify. So that was cool. What was the other news? Fastlane. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. We do have an updated card for Fastlane. You guys already know Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar, winner faces Triple H at WrestleMania. We're also going to see U.S. title match, another rematch between Kalisto and Alberto Del Rio. Yeah, I'm predicting Del Rio wins.
Oh, me too. And then Kalisto get it back at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Divas Championship match. Oh, actually, I'll get back to that. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch versus Tamina and Naomi.
We didn't see that coming, which
exactly.
was wrong. It should be Sasha going after Charlotte at this point.
Exactly, and that leads to the other match. The Divas Championship match is Charlotte versus... Is it Sasha? No. Is it Paige? No. Is it... I don't know. It's not Becky, obviously. It's Brie Bella.
And you know why? Because I know Sasha was supposed to be meeting her at Fastlane. It's because Daniel Bryan retired. So now Brie's going to go after Charlotte, lose, and then go after her again at WrestleMania, win. And yes is going to happen at WrestleMania. I promise you.
Brie Bella has not. I mean, she's really. She's not been in the spotlight for quite a while now. And they're going to push her as a contender for the championship. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Whatever. But that's your update so far. That's the only matches that we know of at this point.
Okay, now let's go to Raw.
All right, so you guys know I rant about Hulu all the time because they leave out a couple of matches and maybe some of the backstage stuff. And I've gotten used to it because usually those matches are insignificant, or if there's something funny or interesting, I can find it on YouTube. WWE does put up clips and stuff. So it's not that big a deal. This particular episode, though, this episode of Raw had more matches than any episode of Raw in recent memory, I think. There was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches.
Yep.
Hulu had exactly 2. They had the opening.
Says something. I've got to defend Hulu because the matches were all shit.
All right.
Every single one. Now go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So Hulu had the opening match, Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens.
Which was definitely shit.
And they had the Usos Dudley match, which we already talked about. So I missed every other match. I missed both women's matches, Charlotte and Alicia and Tamina and Becky. I missed Adam Rose versus Titus. We'll talk more about Titus later. I missed Bray Wyatt versus Ryback. And I missed Alberto and Rusev versus the Lucha Dragons, which I wouldn't have even known Sin Cara was back if I hadn't read the results.
Surprise.
Yeah. What Hulu did have, they had the opening segment. They had Miz TV / the highlight reel.
The highlight reel, yeah. Which took it over. That was awesome.
That was
what brought it from a 0 to a 1 again.
And, of course, they had every single Daniel Bryan package, which I understand. I get it. Daniel Bryan's retiring. That should be the highlight of the episode. I get it.
That shocked me because they didn't do that with any other wrestler.
Yeah, I know. I kind of thought the same thing. It was like, okay.
That's why I thought it was a stint. I thought it had to be because they never do this unless they're trying to pull somebody's leg.
So, I understand the reason for that, but at the same time, you cut all your matches and gave me promo packages and stuff that I've seen before. It was touching, it was nice, it was a nice tribute and everything, but I don't know, it's kind of weird to me to get that much of that. So basically, I watched 2 matches and a lot of talking.
And you got to see Dean Ambrose get beat up not once but twice by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Then get him right between the legs when Roman Reigns came out in a very controversial face move because they're both supposed to be faces right now.
Yeah. That whole thing bothers me for the simple fact that Dean Ambrose's whole thing was, I don't need your help, Roman.
And yeah, don't come out. Don't bug me. I thought this was going to bring in the controversy and the fighting. Instead, this was planned.
Yeah, so he can low blow him, but it makes Ambrose look so weak. Like he can take a beating, but he can't beat Brock. He has no chance. That's what they've illustrated here. That without Roman Reigns in that match, Dean Ambrose has no chance. So the only way to fix this is if Ambrose wins. That's the only way, and we know that's not going to happen.
Unless they want to swerve it. I mean, how many times did WWE, when they see the fans are not happy, how many swerves have we been given? How many?
Yeah, it's very possible, and I actually hope they do. Maybe somehow it works out that it's Brock versus Roman at WrestleMania and Triple H versus Dean, but I don't see that happen. I think it's going to be Reigns and Triple H. They've been building to this for like a year. But that, to me, that's the only way they fix Ambrose in this situation is by him winning that match, possibly by pinning Roman Reigns.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy, but again, it's going to make him look weak like he can't beat Brock Lesnar, though. So,
unless he goes after Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Possibly.
Wins. But that's a long way to get redemption.
I don't. Brock Lesnar can beat The Undertaker, undefeated streak at WrestleMania, but he can't beat Dean Ambrose. That
Oh, look, that's WWE writing, which I swear, if
true.
the title of this episode wasn't hashtag Thank You Daniel Bryan, the title of this episode was WWE writing does it again. A shit show, and they're setting up for a shit pay-per-view already. And
That would
now
be
WrestleMania. Oh man.
that would be a very long title.
No. The title would just be
No, I know.
WWE writers screw up again. Period. Now I'm going into my statement. This Raw episode had to have been the dumbest, repetitive, missed opportunities, stupid moments of the year. I'm talking Botchamania might as well just take the entire episode of Raw and stick it on there because the whole freaking show was a botch. Okay. Dolph Ziggler, I'm going down the list because you didn't see it anyway.
Right.
We don't normally go down the list, but we're going to go down the list and talk about how stupid this was. Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens, for the third or fourth time already. Second time, Dolph Ziggler won. And he had freaking Kevin Owens pinned, but they have to put an angle, so they made him jump on the ropes when the ref was going down for the number 3 already. It was 1. Why did he need the ropes? Kevin Owens wasn't even trying to kick out. He was dead weight. Why do I need to keep seeing Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens? And this is going to be the pay-per-view match.
Probably. I know.
I'm walking away of the pay-per-view. If that's a match at the pay-per-view, I'm walking away when that match happens because it doesn't matter anyway.
That's going to be funny if it's not the pay-per-view match. It's going to be like, well, what was all that about then?
Exactly. What was the point? To give Kevin Owens some and Dolph Ziggler some airtime while everybody else is doing something important?
Yeah, so either way, it's a lose, because if they wrestle, it's like, oh, I've seen this 5 times already, and if they don't, it's like, well, what the heck?
What was the point?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, after a bunch of things that Bram probably watched, we had Charlotte fighting Alicia Fox. Woo.
Yeah.
And I mean woo, man. Woo, because it was so damn stupid. What was the point of this match? To show that Charlotte can beat Alicia Fox and not Brie Bella? Woo.
I miss when Alicia Fox was crazy.
Oh, they tried that little thing in the ring a little bit with Alicia Fox.
Oh, did they?
Whenever I see a Charlotte match, I know what I'm in for, and I'm smart. I get up and walk away for a little while. I walked away with that match. I kept popping my head in, waiting for it to be over, because it just, she's going to keep winning until somebody, knocks out her father. And then we had Bray Wyatt versus Ryback. Why? Because why the hell not? Right? Ryback's backstage. He has nothing better to do with his life. He looks like Goldberg now. Let's have the Bray Wyatt family come out and beat him up a little bit like the Big Show.
Well, to be fair, he has had some altercations with the Wyatts lately, but I mean, it's meaningless, but
right.
It's there.
This is this big, muscular, mutant-sized muscle guy versus Bray Wyatt. In reality, one little from freaking Ryback and Bray's out in his ass. But no, not for this match. Apparently, somehow by some act of luck, mind you, at the time of this match, Ryback was at full steam. He gets caught. He gets Sister Abigail. No way he should be knocked out, right? Wrong. He lost. And then the Wyatts did to him what they did to Big Show. They beat him up, throw him into the steps, his Sister Abigail on the cement. Okay. Who's the statement for? Who's the statement for?
There's going to be...
Who's saying the statement to?
I don't know. There's going to be an 8-man tag. It's going to be the Wyatts versus Big Show, Ryback, Kane, and somebody. Maybe Undertaker comes back.
Oh, yeah, that'd be wonderful. Okay. So we're having a fun time already. We're at 0. I believe at this moment is when Miz TV, taken over by Jericho, with the show up of AJ Styles, brought the show back to a 1-star. At this moment.
That was fun.
That was good.
I like that. Miz just kind of getting schooled by Jericho, and then AJ Styles coming out.
You saw this. You can talk about it.
I did see that. I did see this. Jericho going back and forth. I like Jericho, okay? I did not like him just throwing out his catchphrase, would you please shut, that whole thing. It felt...
That was
felt forced, yeah.
Yeah.
But aside from that, him taking over the show and him actually throwing all Miz's stuff out and laying down the highlight reel carpet and bringing down the Geritron, I thought that was kind of cool and it was funny.
I loved it. I loved it. That was the best part.
Yeah. And then AJ coming out there and just kind of, he pretty much beat them both up.
Yes, he did.
I love that. I love that. And they actually referred to him as a pit bull.
Which was really good because I thought of you when they said that.
Yeah.
They mentioned that.
Yeah, exactly. So, that was probably my favorite segment.
That was the segment.
Yeah, right.
The acting segment.
Yeah.
The best acting segment because Daniel Bryan's segment was very heartfelt and wonderful.
Yeah.
It's just sad that he had to leave. I didn't want him to. I wanted it to be a joke. I wanted it to be a setup for him to come back and wrestle. But anyway, now that was an awesome moment. Brought us back to 1 star. We have a chance to make it to average. Titus O'Neil comes out. All right. I like Titus O'Neil. He's doing so great solo.
From solo to so long. Anyway,
The social outcasts come up.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that after this match.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that right after this match. And it's Adam Rose. Do you understand? Adam Rose hasn't won a match. He hasn't won a match. When did he win his last match? Because it wasn't a while.
Probably somewhere on Superstars or something. Who knows?
Okay, so there's an interference by that guy that does the guitar ding, 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 ding. I don't care. Heath Slater, which causes Titus O'Neil to be distracted. And then Adam Rose grabs him, rolls him up, and miraculously, 1, 2, 3. He was so awake by that count of 3. When he didn't kick out, I looked at the TV and said, I literally did that. I censored myself. But I seriously said, you. No way. No way. They rolled out of the ring. They're celebrating. And he's standing there like, boy, got your number. I'm going to get you back. Fine. That would have been great. Until he got suspended. So this is his last match for 90 days? He lost to freaking Adam Rose? And the social outcast, and now he can't wrestle for 3 months? That's not why he's suspended. But
No.
3 months? That's
Yes.
salt.
Yeah.
Salt.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
That's salt on the
Yeah,
very
it is.
salty wound already.
Totally.
Okay. So Alberto Del Rio and Rusev versus the Lucha Dragons. And I remember I was complaining to you at the beginning of the night about Dolph and Kevin Owens. You're like, well, they should mix it up at least, make it something spicy. So they did. They did that for Alberto Del Rio and Kalisto. They brought the Lucha Dragons back. What's his name came back, and they did their tag thing. They lost. Who didn't see that coming? They lost, and they got a little bit of a beating. And King Barrett. That's all he did all match long. Didn't even help cheat.
He is literally just there because he's really, I think he was just walking backstage and Vince was like, hey, you're from another country. You join them too. Just walk out there and make it 4 guys.
He must have been. And you know what? Now that Sheamus is injured, it makes the League of Nations even less needed.
Yeah.
There's no point to the League of Nations anymore. There's no point whatsoever. They're useless now. You might as well break them apart at some point.
Yeah. Can I say one thing real quick?
Oh, yes. Oh, go ahead.
This website that we view the results on, this particular reviewer gave star ratings to each of the matches so far.
Okay.
I want to illustrate that we're not alone in all this.
Oh, we're not. Good.
Okay. Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens, 2 stars for the match.
That's way too many. I gave it 1. Okay, he's 1 star up. Okay.
Okay. Charlotte and Alicia, 1/4 of a star.
Right there with him.
Okay. Let's see. What's the next one? Bray versus Ryback, 1 star.
Yep.
Let's see. Titus O'Neil versus Adam Rose, 1/2 a star.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see.
Tag match now.
Tag match, 1/2 a star.
Yep.
Okay, so we're caught up now. All right.
Oh, wait, no, what did he give to the Usos and
That's towards the end. That's later.
Oh, I know, but we talked about that match.
Oh, okay. Let me find it. Okay. Star and a fourth.
I gave it about 2-3 stars, so
Yeah.
I'm a little bit all right. So he's higher on the first match by a star, and I'm higher on the last match by 2 stars.
Exactly.
So there's only one match left. Believe it or not, there's one match left, and it's Tamina versus Becky, and it's the setup for this stupid tag match that we didn't want, but we're gonna get at Fastlane. And Sasha's just sitting back at the announce table, and the announcers are even telling her, "Shouldn't you be helping Becky? They're cheating. Do you not see that they're cheating? You see?" She came up and she's like, "I gotta make sure that she could defend herself." And then you know what happened? She got her ass kicked instead of Becky. And Becky lost. Wait, Becky lost because she was distracted. But do you know who got their ass kicked? Sasha. And I was telling Alan, because I was talking to Alan on Facebook, what stupid, dumb idiot goes out of the ring and helps a girl who was sitting at the announce table the whole time while she was getting her ass kicked by 2 girls. And she still helped Sasha.
Yeah.
And they both got their ass kicks anyway.
Wow.
So in the end, Team Bad won. What did this guy, if he gave it more than a half a star, he was drunk at this match. How much did he give it?
Fourth of a star.
Thank you. Thank you. This was the dumbest, and it was so badly written. And I have another thing to say about the Wyatts. Brock Lesnar was there for the second night in a row. He threatened that he was going to get his revenge on the Wyatts. And for a second time, they were wide open. Not even a threatening music cue. Nothing. Second time. And Brock Lesnar will be there again. Nothing's going to happen. The writers completely let go of that.
Yeah.
If I got screwed at the Royal Rumble all the way at the end because 2 people who were thrown out already threw me out, their ass would be grasped before they made it to Raw.
Yeah. Hearing all this, I'm like you said, I'm kind of relieved I didn't have to sit through all that.
I was telling you.
I know.
Raw, I messaged Brand. The first thing I said was, "I'm sorry.
You
Sorry,
did.
you've got to go through what I just went through." And then this jerk didn't even have to go through it because Hulu cut it all out because they knew it was shit.
That's true.
What kind of garbage are they trying to feed us? Hello? Vince? Hi? What the hell are you doing? What? Is Graham Morrison writing Raw?
You better be careful. You might be suspended for 3 months.
You want to see? I'll give him something that'll suspend me for 3 months.
Should we talk about that now?
Yes. I
Okay.
forgot we didn't talk about that. I'm done talking. You talk about it. I'm pissed off. It was a stupid shit show. I quit SmackDown because it was a shit show.
All right.
And then we get this crap.
So after Raw went off the air,
Thank God it was over. It was over. It was 15 minutes over the time limit.
So you know they have the post show that they put up on the network. Are you being a little loud?
A little loud, baby. And there was a post on WWE Network. That's great. Add more insult to injury.
So post show after Raw went off the air, they're all saying their goodbyes to Daniel Bryan, obviously. So all the superstars are out there. They're lining the ramp on either side, and you know they're doing the whole farewell thing. And this little altercation happens, which I think a lot of people have misread the video. Since then, the video has been taken down WWE Network. It's been taken off their YouTube channel, but Botchamania managed to get a clip of it, so you can still find it online. Basically, Titus O'Neil reached out and playfully grabbed Vince's arm and kind of pulled him in for, just like a chest bump or whatever. And you and me, we've watched this several times. To me, it clearly looks like Vince is smiling as this happens.
Like boom, 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 yeah, to Titus' chest.
Yeah, it looks like he's smiling and just, kind of doing that. When he reviewed the footage later and found out that it was televised, and it basically became a humorous moment in what was supposed to be a very serious moment, and it kind of made Vince break character a little bit. Then he got very upset about it, and to make an example of him, basically, he suspended Titus O'Neil for 90 days. Now, to put this in perspective,
Yeah, I liked your perspective when you wrote me.
if in the WWE as a superstar, if you are caught in drug testing to be a substance abuser, you get a 30-day suspension for substance abuse. He grabbed Vince McMahon's arm.
To shake it, nonetheless. Not even to beat him up or anything.
Right.
Something.
Playfully, he's smiling. They're both smiling, and he gets suspended for 90 days. He's going to miss WrestleMania because of this. I don't even
what
know.
Month is this? No, you got to say the whole thing.
I'm gonna say it. Granted, this is not a racial issue, but it does not speak well that this is Black History Month, and they've been pushing that on the programming.
And they just
real good job. Real good job.
I'm sorry. You are down, Daniel Bryan, not coming back now. So many wrestlers on the disabled list.
Yeah.
You've got a very well Titus O'Neil, who is ready to move up to the Intercontinental belt at a snap of a fingers. And your dumbass suspends him not just for a month, but for 90 days? Vince McMahon's getting a little too old. I think it's time for him to go off into the sunset. I really do. Because
that's going to work against your pitch for him to hire you.
No, I'll ask Triple H to hire me then.
Okay, there you go. Bring us on NXT. That's Triple H's thing anyway.
I like Triple H better anyway. I've always liked Triple H.
I just don't understand that. I mean, I get being upset that it ruined a scene or whatever.
Of course, suspend him for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month.
They wouldn't even let him. He walked into Tuesday night for SmackDown tapings. They sent him home. They sent him home from SmackDown.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the night after Raw, they sent him home from SmackDown taping and said, "Nope, you're done. You're suspended. Go sit on your couch." Basically.
And he did the smart thing though on Twitter. He said nothing.
Did. Yeah, he quoted the scripture basically saying he was going to be humble and keep his opinion to himself, which is very smart. He knows he's 38 years old. He's only wrestled for the WWE
for 2 years, maybe a year.
No, a little bit longer than that.
I've only watched him for about a year now.
Yeah, he was on like the previous version of NXT when it was still a competition show. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he's been on there and he's been part of a tag teams, so on and so forth. But he's kind of been in and out because they'll use him for a while, then they won't, and so on and so forth. But yeah, he came in late. He came into the game late, because he used to play football or whatever. So he doesn't have a whole lot of options, is my point, and he knows that, especially at his age. So he's being very smart about it. That's fine. Maybe they'll lift it. Maybe he'll get a.
They better.
Yeah.
Maybe cooler heads will prevail.
Yeah.
Let me explain something to you though. Let me sum this up for all of you out there. We don't hate. Let me clarify first. Then I'll sum up.
Okay.
Clarification first. We don't hate wrestling. I've grown up in the WCW. I grew up with the WCW. When WCW went stupid with Vince Russo, who was cancer to any wrestling company. He was it to WCW. He was it for TNA, which is basically now the Matt Hardy show, which I like Matt Hardy until they literally imagine when Matt Hardy was version 1 in WWE, but the WWE was around that. Like he was the world heavyweight champion and everybody danced around him. That's what TNA is doing. That's wrong. Matt Hardy, while he's an excellent wrestler, has great talent, does not need wrestlers dancing around him. Dixie Carter is grabbing at whichever. She jumped at Bubba Ray as a solo for a while. Bully Ray.
Which, in his defense, he was actually good.
He was.
But, yeah.
But now you got Matt Hardy fighting his brother. I watched a clip, and now they play the girlfriend off as the bitch.
Yeah.
That's TNA. But we love wrestling. I went to WWE then, and I watched it. That was when The Rock, the WCW versus WWE. I remember that. That was awesome. That was crazy. That was off the hook. Best comedic moments between Stone Cold and Kurt Angle. Best.
Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care. Yeah.
I don't know what happened from the moment I walked away from wrestling to now. It was around John Cena's PG era beginning. and the writers running out of things to do apparently, and the injury list becoming longer than the roster list. Whatever happened, something bad happened between 2005 and 2016. Because I've been watching wrestling now. How long have we been doing this? 21 episodes. Now we've only started separating. Let's say, how many pay-per-views have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4. About 4 or 5 months I've been in this. Almost a half a year I'm back into wrestling. I dropped SmackDown in less than 5 months. I fell in love with NXT. Fell in love with it. It reminds me so much of the wrestling I used to watch. I wish this was the 2-hour show every week. I learned to hate the WWE writers, though, because they have been recycling the same stories since I came back to watching wrestling. Reduced, reused it, and recycled it with different wrestlers.
Yep.
This episode of Raw, and this is saying a lot, because I thought one pay-per-view was absolute, complete, almost suck. But this week's episode of Raw hit the all-time lowest
Wow.
since I've come back to wrestling. This was the lowest. And I had to live through what The Rock did, which wasn't so bad. Looking back at it, there were some haha moments. But this was the lowest Raw that I've watched in my entire span of watching wrestling ever. And I went through New Blood for a time in WCW, and anybody who saw that was the worst.
That's saying something right there.
Shit. David Arquette was holding the championship. I would go through that again before going through this Raw again. I will go through an entire Monday Night Nitro episode with David Arquette holding the WCW championship belt, then go through the debacle, missed opportunities, bad writing, bad matches, bad setup, with a horribly sad ending, and then a suspension to put on top of it all, night that we went through on Monday. This deserves a 0. It gets a 1 because of Daniel Bryan. Yes. Your turn.
I can't follow that up. I got nothing to say.
Anyway.
That's, wow. I think you have some strong feelings towards this episode of Raw. Maybe just a little bit.
Maybe. I don't know what would tell you that, but fine, okay, maybe.
It's hard for me to mirror your feelings because, again, I didn't see most of this.
You didn't see anything. Because you got what... You know, Hulu saved your life. And you're mad at them. You should be thanking them. You should be thanking them.
You got a good point there, because I saw all the good parts.
Yes, you did. You honestly, minus the...
I didn't say everything I saw was good. I said I saw all the good parts from Raw. So it's like my margin was a lot different than yours, because I had like 80% good, 20% bad, where you had 80% bad, 20% good or whatever. Maybe not even 20%.
10% good in one match and then goodbye, and 10% what the hell am I watching? And I know I said that to Alan. Alan, you could correct me in the comments, because you said you can't wait. He said that. He said that tonight when I said we were recording this. He's like, I can't wait to see what you have to say about Raw. He knows, because I even asked him like 20,000 times, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah.
Please tell me you saw R-Truth and Goldust. Please tell me you saw.
No, I didn't see that.
They were at, oh God, it was a musician's museum. And look this up now. Find it on YouTube. He's wearing an afro, trying to play a guitar. He calls the guitar Jimmy, smashes it up against the side of this museum, and the police take him away. And R-Truth is like, what? And you know what? So was I. What was the point?
Goldust ambushes R-Truth dressed as Jimi Hendrix? Is that it?
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix. Go ahead. You give him a hop. Go ahead.
All right.
Watch Brant's reactions.
Well, you keep talking because I gotta turn the volume up and we can't have it heard.
Oh, okay. So, I'm gonna. I don't even know what to talk about because this was just dumb. This really was
Yeah,
dumb.
see, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna torture myself. What I'm gonna do is actually between now and the next Raw episode of 123 Podcast, I'm gonna find the.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna.
No. Keep watching. No, just keep watching. That. Don't even because this might change your mind. It'll change your life. It'll change your life because it definitely changed my life. That's for sure. Oh God. And he went back to ooh thing again, like when he got shocked.
Yeah.
I wish they'd stop that. It's been years since he's been shocked. He should be better by now.
I don't understand what the purpose of this is.
I don't understand what the purpose of Raw was this week.
Does he think R-Truth is Booker T? Because they used to be a tag team.
Right. I think that's what they're treating this like. They're trying to relive Booker T and Goldust.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. There's a point.
Well, he's broken the guitar and he's on his knees, and the cops, security, just kind of walks up to him behind him and just grabs him off the ground. I'm like,
Yep.
no
like,
warning.
I'm
just
just
going to
doing
grab
there?
you and carry you out.
Uh-huh.
What did he say when he picked up the guitar? Truth?
I don't know. I didn't hear what he said. He talked too low.
Okay.
He was very low at that last. He said a statement.
I was just going to say that I might torture myself between now and the next.
I just told you everything that happened.
I know.
In the matches minus all the moves.
I know, but just so you can get my honest opinion on the entire show as a whole, so I'm not like totally lost. But everything you told me, yeah, I would probably agree with you.
I am all for you doing an episode 23.5.
Okay.
Just your own personal reaction.
It might just be silent, a silent video, and I'm just sitting there going like this. Just that. For like 20 minutes.
Because
Then
I don't
just like,
ever want to think about this Raw. After the cameras go down, all I want to think about is NXT.
that's
what
true.
I have to watch.
Maybe I'll just skip all of that, take your word for it, and watch NXT.
Maybe you
I'll
should.
just watch NXT twice.
Maybe. You know what? Ladies and gentlemen in the comments, because there are some ladies out there that do like wrestling, and I encourage you wholeheartedly to please leave us a comment. Just, down below. But anybody else who's watched Raw, I know Alan gave it a 0. Maybe a half because of Daniel Bryan. But anyway, you wonderful people, my wonderful commenters that I love so much, Dark Avenger Nation, we'll talk about that on Friday night.
In Zone for Legionnaires as well.
Exactly.
Oh,
please! Legionnaires, Nation, oh God, what do I call them?
Dark Avenger Nation.
No, I know that, but I'm trying to think of what I called them. Long live the Nation and Legionnaires. Long live the Legion. So there you go. Long live the Nation and Legion. All of you wonderful people, please let Brant know how wonderfully awful Raw was in the comments below. Because I know we are not alone. I know me and Alan are not alone. Me and the person who did the ratings for these matches are not alone. I mean, somebody might have liked one or two of the matches. I will not begrudge you if you liked one or two of the other matches. I won't begrudge you if you loved the whole night. Maybe that'll make Brent want to go, and then we'll get that 0.5 episode. But
leave a comment if you'd like me to suffer along with you all and watch the entire episode as opposed to the good parts from Hulu that I got. Let me know. And I will suffer through it, and I will do a 0.5 show, if that's what people want. But if you'd like to spare me the suffering...
Please just tell me how bad the night is. Just tell me how bad it was.
We'll let it go and move on and pretend like it never happened.
Unfortunately, that's not happening.
Not for Titus, anyway.
No. That is salt, man. Losing to James Rose and then getting
Adam Rose.
suspended. Adam Rose. Why is it James Rose?
I don't know.
Oh, speaking of insult, you shared a video with me that I'm going to just throw this out there. James Storm
Oh,
made it to NXT finally.
I lost my earpiece.
Okay, I'm going to wait for Brand to be able to hear me. Okay, now you can hear me. What the hell was I watching? Because they made him look like such a badass on NXT. He shows up at TNA, he's rolling on a little thing, cuckoo for co. What the hell, man? WWE was giving him better shit than that.
They turned him for NXT, like you said. He goes to NXT and he's cool. Everybody's chanting his name. He's beating people left and right. Sorry about your, whatever. And he goes to TNA, back to TNA, because that's they offer him the better deal. He's R-Truth now.
Yeah.
He's a comedy character.
Uh-huh.
And he's dumb.
Uh-huh.
What was that?
I have no freaking clue.
He thought they could fit an entire truck in that little room. And he gets a cooler, the Boozer Cruiser cooler, which he's ridden before. That's fine. He had to have keys to drive it.
What the hell's going on with wrestling? Did Grant Morrison have bastard children and they're all part of the writing staff for WWE and TNA?
No, Vince Russo did.
You know what? Forget Grant Morrison. He's a comic writer. That's true. Vince Russo. How many bastard children did you have? You know what, Brent? You're right. Because I think if Grant Morrison wrote wrestling, we'd at least be enjoying it. And that says something. So you know what? Yes, it has to be Vince Russo and his bastard 28 children.
Has to be something. I don't know. I don't know.
I shouldn't insult Grant Morrison. Because Grant Morrison, as high as he gets, he would be able to write a better Raw show than what we saw this week.
Hey.
Grant Morrison. You know who would write a better show? You know who would illustrate a better show than what we saw on Raw? Rob Liefeld.
That just hurts my feelings.
Rob Liefeld would have drawn a better Raw than what we saw. We would have enjoyed that better.
Okay.
Pockets and all.
I think we've reached a new level here. I don't even know.
I would have rather see Summer Rae in every single one of those matches. I would have rather have dealt with that all Raw long than what I suffered through. Where is Summer Rae? Did she really get fired because of what I said? Because that was a joke. Okay?
I have no idea where Summer Rae is. Last time I saw her, she was with Tyler Breeze, and they ended that.
And you know that asshole's going to get a push now because Titus got kicked out?
Maybe.
Oh, definitely.
Sidetrack. I watched the first episode of the new season of Total Divas, finally.
Oh, good. Was it good?
Dolph Ziggler got slapped upside his head when he tried to kiss Nikki. So, just so you know. And
okay, so Dolph Ziggler's stupid outside the ring, you're telling me.
Well, he apparently had no respect whatsoever for John Cena and thinks he's a chump. And when Nikki tells John Cena about this, John's like, well, what am I going to do about it? If you want to be with him, it's, that's your... what am I going to do? Go
It's true!
Beat him up
it's
or whatever?
True. It's so freaking true! John Cena has no balls!
It was like, what? And she was like so furious because he wasn't even a little upset. He was just like, okay.
If that was me and I'm with a girl and her friend who has a thing for her said that, he wouldn't have any balls anymore.
Mm.
John Cena just tucks him up and walks away.
I don't know. It was very strange.
I would have rather seen John Cena wrestle with a busted arm instead of what I saw on Raw.
We still got NXT, bro. NXT. That's going to be our next episode.
Thank the Lord. Thank you, God, that Triple H married Stephanie now. Because imagine if she would have married Test, there wouldn't be anybody anymore. But beside the point.
Wow.
But there wouldn't be NXT, that's for sure.
even. What's happened?
It's true. That's what. Don't do drugs, kids.
But if you do,
so
you only get a 30-day suspension.
What?
If you do, you only get a 30-day suspension, so it's all right.
Yeah, it's great.
Just don't grab your boss's arm.
No.
Ever.
Even
You'll
if
miss
he
WrestleMania.
Oh, God.
So that was this episode of 123 Podcast.
I'm so mad that I actually brought Test up. I don't even know where that came from, but... Who else did Stephanie date? Half of the locker room?
I'm not even going to go there.
I'm just glad she picked Triple H. He's the man that's going to save this company one day. And that says a lot because I've heard there's a lot of dirty backstage politics with him. But you know what? Going to do a better job than Vince is right now. That's for damn sure.
I'm just glad she's happy with Triple H. I mean, he did kidnap her and drive her drug through a Las Vegas drive-through marriage symbol.
You know, it was that storyline, though, that made them fall in love.
I know, right? That's funny.
So at least there was that.
Yeah.
And he does do a lot of charity work, and I'm sure she does want to do a lot of it. So God bless the both of them. I'm glad she was with. I'm glad she picked Triple H. She knew what. She knew she had to get rid of Test a long time ago because he tested positive for stupidity.
We're approaching the hour mark now. We should probably wrap this up. In this abysmal episode
they wrapped Raw up. They should have wrapped Raw up 2 hours earlier.
I'm saying, I think we're done talking about it, because what more can we say? Do better next week. We can pray for that. Hope for that. Whatever your preference.
And break Titus O'Neil's suspension. Or bring it down to 30 days at least.
Something. Do something. Oh.
Vince, you're killing the writers. They had a storyline for Titus. Now you're giving it Tyler?
Did they really, though? Do they really have any storylines for anybody?
They have nothing for anybody. They're recycling everything. We know who's going to win. Almost all the time.
I'm convinced these writers have a formula. It's like, okay, we'll just plug this name in here and this name in here, and we'll do this one this next couple of months, and then next couple of months, okay, let's see. Okay, we'll plug this guy in.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's
I asked you a question, though. I was saying, do you think they snort the formula or drink it?
Inhaled it.
Oh, okay. That works, too. Right into the bloodstream. Even the comic wasn't good. They tried to steal Secret Wars.
What? What are you talking about?
WWE comic book. Comic.
I know it. I like the comic.
Pop up in the comic out of nowhere.
I like the comic. I thought it was kind of neat.
I like the NWO part.
Okay.
I like that. I like the whole Secret War thing. But then it ended and it's like there's John Cena again. It's like that's what life is.
There's always John Cena.
There's always a damn John Cena.
He still does some pretty good workout videos. I was getting in pretty good shape.
DDP Yoga beats out any John Cena Wiener thing.
Okay.
Believe in DDP Yoga. If you walk away from this episode with anything, let it be that. DDP Yoga for the win. You can find it at ddpyoga.com. He saved many people. If only he could save certain other people.
So join us next time on 123 as we talk about a good show in
Thank
NXT.
the Lord. Thank you, God. But then next is Raw again.
We'll worry about that when Raw gets here. For now, we're gonna go.
I need to go.
Check out all the previous episodes of 123 Podcast.
We didn't hate the hell out of a show.
And maybe I don't even know. I'm sorry. We're tapping out. We're saying bye-bye.
Comment below if
Please.
your thoughts on Raw. Links in description below to all the awesome sites that we are a part of, like Don't Hate Us, Zone4Podcast.com. Stuff connected to my channel, which is Dark Avenger C86. Last Ember Press, we swear we don't own WWE's comic. Comic Frontline, please don't hate us there either. And Frontline Gaming Zone, there is no wrestling on Frontline Gaming Zone yet.
Oh,
We're going to get wrestling on Frontline Gaming Zone very soon.
I could rant about that game, too. I won't do that right
Don't
now.
you dare. I just gave a good outro.
No, I'm not. We'll save that for another episode. All right, thank you, everybody.
For episode. Oh, God.
Oh,
DDP Yoga.
thank you, Daniel Bryan.
Thank you, Daniel Bryan. You're going to be missed.
All right, bye, guys. See you next time.
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.